Hi readers, welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads. Lee here, and welcome to my weekend books. This week, I only read 3 books. One of them took me, I think, 3 days to read, but I also had 2 DNFs to start the week, so that did not help anything. And I meant to have those over here, but I got distracted, and they're not here, so they're in the other room. One was a book called Take Two, Bertie Maxwell, and I got halfway through it, and it was a rom-com, but I just didn't care about the characters, so I put it aside. And the other was called Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, who I thought I loved, and I did love Mexican Gothic, but I just could not vibe with that book, so I put that down. And so the next thing I tried was a book called Blood Like Mine by Stuart Neville. Now, this is a book that I would call a light read. Not in subject matter, but a read that I didn't have to work at. I could just let it flow. And this book for me was 3 stars. This is the first of a trilogy. Although I enjoyed-ish this book, I will not be moving on with the trilogy. I've got too much else to read. But let me tell you what it's about. On a cold December night, single mother Rebecca Carter drives her van into a snowbank to avoid hitting an elk on a desolate mountain highway. She is at the end of her rope, out of money and food. Still, she refuses help from a passing stranger. Rebecca's adolescent daughter, Moonflower, is on the run from a grisly secret, and the last thing they can afford is to be remembered. Meanwhile, Special Agent Donner of the FBI has been hunting down a gruesome serial killer who drains their victims of blood before severing their spinal cords. As Agent Donner's investigation brings him closer to the Carters, the life that Rebecca has fought so hard to hold together for her daughter becomes increasingly imperiled. In this riveting, blood-soaked take on the vampire myth, nobody is safe and nothing is certain, not even the line between predator and prey. And I guess the reason that this was just okay for me, and it might be part of the point, late in the book, you meet a character called the nurse, and the nurse doesn't really like Rebecca, and neither do I. He thinks she enjoys what she does, and I didn't get that feeling. She was just annoying to me. My favorite part was her letters to her daughter that she wrote over the course of her life before and after her daughter's birth. But look, this was a good time, so I'm not recommending it. If you want a good, bloody take on a vampire myth, I recommend it. I just won't go further in the series. My favorite character was the daughter. Her real name's Monica. I hated that they called her Moonflower. This isn't the 70s. Anywho, not the point. So after that, I did 2 back-to-back rom-coms, and this is why I try not to do that unless I'm doing an author binge, because in my mind now, I'm starting to conflate the 2. Anywho, after Blood Like Mine, I needed something that I knew would be a light read and that I knew I would enjoy. And of course, that's Sarah Adams, The Enemy. This is, I believe, the last book I have to catch up in my Sarah Adams collection. I was hesitant because the temporary roomie wasn't a great fit for me, but this one made up for it. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. So much so, I know why I picked this one up. I was waiting for a book to come in. Here's the long version. I had gone to Barnes & Noble for a book called These Summer Storms, and they did not have it. But their app says they did. So I went online and ordered it from Amazon, and it should have arrived on Thursday. So I thought, let me read The Enemy. And lo and behold, the package still has not arrived. And so I ended up reordering it, so we'll see if it comes in. Anywho, Barnes & Noble still shows it available on their website for my local store. This morning I ordered it. Sure enough, they canceled the order because it's not there. Long story. Very frustrating. I just want this book, and now I know I'll have waited so long for this book that when I get it, I won't like it. Anywho. But with The Enemy, I actually tried to slow my reading down, not only because I was wanting more time to pass before the book allegedly came in, but also because I didn't want this book to end. It's been 12 years since June Broaden has seen her high school enemy and secret crush, Ryan Henderson. That's a long time to hold a grudge over some petty feud, but the sharp memory of him dangling a kiss at graduation, then pulling away at the last second, has fueled many angry fantasies since. Now it's her chance to get even. Ryan, along with most of their high school class, is back in town for June's best friend's wedding, and June is eager to show the former bully exactly what he's missed out on. A lot has changed since their teenage days. June is now the southern queen of gourmet donuts, not to mention one of the most desired bachelorettes in her small town. What she's not expecting, though, is for Ryan to show up looking like Adonis and touting his own career success as the youngest chef ever to win 3 Michelin stars. How dare he try to one-up her revenge plot? Luckily, June never backs down from a challenge. This was hilarious. One thing I love about Sarah Adams is that she can always make me laugh. I won't spoil it, but she always makes me laugh. There's something in every book that makes me laugh at least one time, and usually throughout the book. But with this book, I also discovered that Sarah Adams just may be my Taco Bell soulmate. Here's another little rant for you. I absolutely loved the Taco Bell Mexi Melts. And of course, in 2019, I think, they discontinued them. Maybe before that. They brought them back for a little bit last year or this year, and now they're gone again. I have tried to recreate the Mexi Melt a million times, and I've done everything right. Used Taco Bell sauce, used Taco Bell seasoning, nothing worked. And I was joking with some colleagues at our Christmas dinner last year. I said, maybe it's their shitty ground beef that I can't recreate. Maybe it's too high quality. So there comes this line from Ryan, who apparently is a Taco Bell fan too. I've tried to recreate the flavor of their beef. I can't match it, no matter how hard I try. Me too, I cried. Me too. So I did find that you can recreate the Mexi Melt using Taco Bell's existing menu. You get some soft tacos, you can get the 3 cheeses and some pico de gallo inside, and there, just warm it up a little bit, that's your Mexi Melt. However, what also discovered recently is the soft tacos with no lettuce and just extra cheese is exactly the flavor I've been looking for. I can add pico or not, but June's go-to meal, soft tacos, no lettuce. How about that, soulmate? Anywho, next book I got, again, I was hoping that the other book I would arrive, so I was a little bit disgruntled. So I picked up another rom-com, Ashley Poston's Sounds Like Love. I started this on Friday, finished it Saturday, and I really enjoyed this. Let me tell you what it's about. Ashley Poston does magical realism in her books. My favorite book of hers was called 7 Year Slip because it wasn't a typical romance. This is more of a typical romance. I don't hate it, but I loved 7 Year Slip because it took me by surprise. I may one day do a Ashley Poston video, author spotlight. Joni Lark has a secret. She's one of the most coveted songwriters in Los Angeles, and yet she can't write. There's an emptiness inside her and nothing seems to fill it. When she returns to her hometown of Vienna Shores, North Carolina, she hopes that the sand, the surf, and the concerts at the Revelry, her family's music venue, will spark inspiration. But when Joni gets there, nothing is how she left it. Her best friend is hiding something, her mother's memories are fading fast, and the Revelry is closing. How can Joni write when her world is leaving her behind? Then she hears it, a melody in her head, lyricless and half-formed, and an alluring and addictive voice to go with it, belonging apparently to a wry musician with emptiness of his own. Surely he's a figment of Joni's overworked imagination. Then, A very real man shows up in Vienna Shores. He's arrogant and guarded, not at all like the sweet, funny voice in Joni's head. And he has a plan for breaking their inconvenient telepathic connection. Finish the song haunting them both, and hope they don't risk their hearts or secrets in the process. Because that melody, the one drawing them together, what if it's there for a reason? One criticism. And I did not mark the pages where this occurred, but it occurred on multiple occasions where there was a phrase that I had heard before in either books or movies or something. It's almost cliche, but that's not exactly what I mean. Here's an example. In When Harry Met Sally, he says something like, and I'm going to go blank here. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. And there is a sentence in here that is a lot like that. It is a lot like that. Like, it threw me out of the book because it is almost a mirror of what Billy Crystal's character says in When Harry Met Sally. And I've watched that movie a million times, so I know. Anywho, that is my only criticism. I really enjoyed this book. I loved the back and forth between Sebastian and Joni. I loved... This is going to be hard to say. I cried at the end because if you didn't pick up in the summary of the book, her mother is suffering from dementia. It's early stages, but there's finally a point at the end where she and her mother talk frankly about it, and it was very sad. The main male character also has lost a mother. She's already gone, and so they kind of have that connection, and that I really appreciated that part about this. Ashley Poston, her grandmother, I think, seemed to have suffered from dementia based on her author's notes, and my heart breaks for her. My mother did not have dementia, but she had another disease that altered her brain, and it was just really agonizing. So that is all for this week, except for a tease. Since I was still waiting for the book that has not arrived, I finished this really early last night, and I don't watch that much TV, so I didn't want to just sit here and do nothing, or God forbid I'm not going to do chores on a Saturday evening. So I picked up a book that in an online book club I participate in, they're going to start reading, and that is Julie Clark's The Ghost Rider. I had hesitations about this because usually when I pick up a book within an hour of finishing another one, it's not right for me. But this one, I'm not going to tell you about it. You can wait till next week. This one's fire. I love it already. I do not like the main female character in here. I feel like she's untrustworthy a little bit. But I'm still having a really good time. I like this so much, I ordered it for a friend so that she could read it too. Anywho, if you stuck with me this far, as always, thank you for sticking with me on my journey, and happy reading.